VHS on or off? It low-key cleaner with no VHS. I'm not going to lie. Every game cleaner with no VHS. Don't y'all agree, chat? Clean. Okay, we just woke up here? Bro, imagine waking up here. Sticky with the 5, thank you. Bro, I gotta do the sensitivity.
I was never meant to be.
Why is it glowing?
No clue, but I noticed it when setting up camp.
Okay, my bad. I was on mute. That's okay. Some megabits, 2%. I don't know how this is organized, but I mean, I guess it's just rivals.
We are to bear witness to the reunion of worlds, for the future is bright.
All right, we'll do our best, you know. Zeta buns, Zeta. Can you come and sit here, girlfriend? Come on, please.
The right heroes could make all the difference. Round one, go!
Freedom. This is war. We keep fighting until we can't fight anymore.
We'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Oh, you missed a lot while you were wrapped up in that cocoon, old buddy.
Learned all I need to know, Peter Quill. You need not regale me with your tales of personal glory.
Oh, yeah, okay. But is it cool if I do it anyway? It's kind of my thing.
starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
I've seen some weird stuff in my day, but this time hullabaloo, that takes the cake.
You know what?
Careful, we got a robot. I require some aid.
Can we just get stronger?
That's too many to fight.
Luna Snow could bring a little star power to your
I see you have need of Doctor Strange.
time for some fireworks. You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks. Hang on, my friend.
Spider-Man.
The Life Force wants to heal you. I can restore health. Better stop that vehicle. I am ready to.
This is Spider-Man still in the background. Nice.
The moon haunts you!
Rid us of Moon Knight.
I am Groot!
There's still a chance to stop them. Better stop that vehicle. My time to shine. No. Spider-Nest has got to go. Co-op time. Us against the world. Spiders are cute, but deadly. A nice. It's spider time!
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
This is Spider-Man.
Mine's in place. Hang on, you guys. Got behind you. You stopped them in their tracks. A nice deep freeze. Mine's in
I'm opening a portal. Pentagram of horror. This feels empty.
You stopped them in their tracks.
By the eye of Agamotto! One couldn't win without the other.
The moon haunts you!
Come on, boys, we got this.
Be strong together.
Lights out.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
I am Groot!
A nice deep
I can't see you, Strange.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Better stop that vehicle! It's now or never! Stop them!
Nothing here.
I am Groot!
Don't give them another inch!
The moon haunts
It's all opening back, so.
by the eye of Agamotto.
Us against the world!
I am
It's Spider time! I am ready to put on a show! Spiders are cute, but
Liz, can you shoot the onks that are on the point? We're gonna die if you don't.
I unleash the Vishanti's power.
Thank you.
down to 30 seconds!
Hold firm. Time is on our side.
You stop them in their tracks! The final 10 seconds!
I have made the nests disappear.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Co-op time! Watch out, an oak! My time to shine! Us against the world!
Hey, Moon Knight, you dropped an arm.
The current score is 0, 2, 3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
I am Groot.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
You don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world, but it does help.
Round 2, go!
I've watched entire realities consumed by chaos. I won't let that happen again.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
So, how do you like this new Wakanda?
If one more person asks me what it would be like to be Empress Consort, they're going to get a lightning bolt where the sun don't shine.
I was talking about the technomantic evolution, but okay. Message received.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Watch the box.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
The Vishanti sent me to the Ancient One. It was my destiny.
My magic is growing. Under my spell. I'll force the founders. Spider, goodbye. For now.
Please, we're hurt. We lost their shield.
I can't see over there. Through over.
Goodbye. For now.
Spider doll gone.
I'm gonna win.
I won't make the same mistakes again. Now, a disappearing act.
You're a Groot, well done.
Another arc. Who will rid us of
Under my spell.
one control without the other?
Goodbye. For now. This should help me heal.
Mine's in place.
Need help? Call Star-Lord.
Chaos control! Now, a disappearing act.
I like the cold.
Be wary until we destroy it.
Reborn from the chaos. Pure chaos!
I am ready to put on a show. It's the grand finale. We lost their shield.
See how all these little spiders like
My magic is growing.
The moon haunts you.
Goodbye.
Fireworks. Chaos control. Only 60 seconds left.
This is real firepower.
By Ashtur's bane, we overcome.
Enjoy the
Alright, let's just do a quick play. You obviously can't play
My fate isn't sealed yet.
ranked alone. It obviously doesn't make sense.
Now, a disappearing act.
Down to 30 seconds. A nice deep freeze. You're not going anywhere. Nice onks.
Such destructive power. Now, a
Final
disappearing
10 seconds.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Us against the world.
a disappearing.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Double KO. It's fighter time!
My magic
That's 3.
Yes, let me place on those goals. And that's more.
Here comes trouble. Help get that vehicle to its destination.
one of Midnight's arms. Be right there. Khonshu cannot save you this time, Spectre.
A nice deep freeze. You're halfway there. Keep going. A boom of light.
A disappearing.
I almost have my own.
This is real firepower.
You're in too deep. Guys, this is
Dude,
Ooh.
That one hurt.
let's cook, let's cook, let's cook.
I was worried.
Reborn from the chaos.
Now it's showtime.
Now, a disappearing act.
Oh boy.
Get that vehicle moving again. Counting on you.
All these fighters can't do it.
My magic is growing.
Oh my God! We lost their shield.
The moon haunts you.
same mistakes again.
The final 10 seconds.
Chaos control.
I don't know why you wouldn't come back.
My magic is cold.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Players look way too familiar. Systems restoring. Time for some fireworks. Double KO. Fire mode. Us against the world.
I want to make the same. Goodbye for now.
I'm hurt.
Tell me to use.
Final score. 1, 2, 3. Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Should we just go Scarlet Boys? Should we go Punisher? I feel like Punisher. I'm trying to think. Choose who we should use who you feel comfortable with, right? Or you go with at least. Okay, we're gonna try Hello. Hello. Right? I think I have a decent name. I have a mouse. Let's try Hello. I mean, she's got decent mobility and everything as well. And I don't know. That could work out.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
No one escapes hell.
Come on, boys, please. One of you extras. Let's see.
You don't have to be a witch
Oh,
to find the
thank you,
magic
Cinnamon.
in this world. But it
You're a
does
real
help.
one.
Oh.
How
do they get a team up?
Never stop fighting for
I actually like
30 seconds
using
before you attack. Get ready.
Scarlet. Don't worry, don't worry. I won't die. I'll do a good job.
Was a friend to mutants, but destroyed the timeline. What would you do?
I am too world weary to engage hypotheticals, Ilyana.
Alright, we got
The battle before us is enough.
The battle starts in 5.
All right, boys. Hopefully,
4.
all right. This is a game. This is the game. All right, let's go.
All you need to
So we
do
come
is
back.
capture the mission area. Got it?
Be right there. After all this time, it's nice to finally have some help saving the universe.
Over here? Okay, we're going through here.
All eyes over there. Right
Oh.
there. Anyone willing to help? I'm hurt.
Ah, that's better.
I like the cold. Better watch your back.
Nice.
Another fearsome foe. Another fearsome foe.
Be right.
Oh no.
I like the cold.
Come, my minion. I won't make the same mistakes again.
What the heck is that?
Goodbye for now.
We better retreat.
Okay. Yeah, maybe this is not the best way to go into. I'll distract them out here. You just start heading from there.
A little help,
Someone else
please.
got me.
Hits the ground. Goodbye. I got your back.
Pushing, girl. Pushing, girl. Oh, careful.
You're not going anywhere. Real magic happens. Be right there. I am ready to put on a show.
Us against the world. For mutant kind.
Ah, that's good.
She got me. She got me.
My work here is not done.
I
shit.
am Loki.
I'll give it to you.
Now, a disappearing act.
Ah.
Where did they all come from? You are under my spell.
So close.
This place is worth a good look.
Feeling
Only
stronger.
60 seconds left.
Chaos control. Rainbow stands with you. Goodbye. For now.
I am ready to put on a show.
Hell unleashed.
You're not going anywhere. This place is worth a good look. Another fearsome foe. Down to 30 seconds.
Rest now, my child.
It's the grand finale.
Oh,
My
he
work
blocked
here
the
is
way.
not
Oh,
done.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now, a disappearing act.
Final 10 seconds. Over here. I can heal you. Us against the world. You'll have to keep fighting until you
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Okay. It might be just a lost cause.
Double KO. The current score is 0-0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
You don't have to be a witch to find
I
the
think we
magic
do.
in this world. But it does help.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Bless you, Dave.
Round 2, go!
There's no reason to be afraid of my magic. Unless you give me one.
Hey, pilot.
30 seconds. Stay
Pilot
strong.
Skangline. Yo, man, if you give me a follow, I'll look at what you're saying.
It's always an honor to meet a fan. Oba-chan loved to play them on the oldies station for me. Wow. For a girl with ice powers, I suddenly feel pretty uncool. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Oh, there's someone here.
I want to be a part of putting it back together.
So it begins. Now, a disappearing act. Chaos control.
They're right on the base.
again. Goodbye for now.
Whatever that onk was, it's gone now.
Now, a disappearing.
Fire mode!
Well, who's
I
next?
like the cold.
Thank you,
You're
thank you,
not
thank you.
going anywhere.
Trouble! We lost our shields! Pull back and regroup.
Oh,
Goodbye.
restore.
I am ready to put on a show!
Moon haunts you.
Now, a disappearing. Now, a disappearing.
Not my healers!
It's the grand finale!
An enchanted art form. Interesting.
Everybody needs a hand. Sorry, no
Feeling
escaping us
strong
now.
now.
Right there. Double kill!
You did that, you did that.
Lowest song to worry about.
Here's another.
I'm hurt.
Careful, careful, careful.
Goodbye.
Sorry, no escaping us now. Look out behind you.
Ah, that's better.
I suck. I am ready to put on a show.
Now, my child.
Only 60 seconds left.
Oh, so much going on.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
I won't make the same mistakes again. Goodbye for now.
Oh.
Not going anywhere. Down to 30 seconds.
Maximum.
Final score 0-2-1. Expect to win them all.
Obviously. This is where I gotta remind myself I have a job. This is not my main job. But I'm minus 24. Like, what do I do? Just get to silver again? Heroes, which hero? Scroll which? My proficiency with her is it's gonna be a centurion soon. My knight. Yay, my knight. Okay, the knight. I got to get Groot to captain. So I think what I should do is this is the strat, right? Be Groot. Right? I think Groot is the option. It's a tank. It's not a bulky tank. be honest. It's impressive the fact that Doctor Strange can counter a lot of my stuff. What should be a character that can counter my stuff? So let's do this. Let's go to quick play. I'm gonna try Doctor Strange. I think if I do bad, I do bad. If I do good, I do good. Alright. I can also be healer too. But I want to get better at the game. Like, I know how to heal.
The
Right?
right heroes could make all the difference.
Open your eyes. Reality is but an illusion.
Okay, the heals. Okay, okay. See,
As Sorcerer Supreme, I oversee other magical adepts.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Please tell me this isn't the date night you've been planning for us, Reed.
No, but think about it. What could be more romantic than seeing the universe side by side?
Literally anything.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I too am a son of Odin.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Render me assistance.
I am strengthened for battle.
So sneaky. The wizard is down.
Better stop that vehicle.
Hands us. I will never allow Krakoa to suffer
They've made
the
it
same
halfway.
fate as
Stop
Ganesh.
them.
This is real firepower!
There's still a chance to stop them.
I am strengthened. Rebirth is
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them. Fight alone.
Rebirth is a mutant's greatest gift.
They've made it halfway. Stop them.
Chief insignificant gnats.
Better stop that vehicle.
yeah, this game is. I don't want to say doo doo. It's probably me that's doo doo. Or why am I playing against these?
There's still a chance to stop them.
Is a mutant's greatest gift. You should have kneeled when you had it. Fear Magneto!
We are undefeatable.
Maximum pulse! This shall not be removed so easily. Protection is always welcome.
Here's how you shoot! Another one for back. Just what we need. Someone scratch my back.
Now, a disappearing act.
I'll patch you up.
Much better. Insignificant match. Judge, jury, executioner!
Undefeatable!
Hawkeye's down. Give another boomerang arrow. I'll patch you up.
It's now or never! Stop them!
This will be helpful. Your attacks are futile.
Another one for the good guy.
Still give them another inch! Or else.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
Always rise again.
Better stop that vehicle!
I'm opening a portal.
Maximum pulse!
You cannot hurt me.
This is real firepower!
It seems the Punisher has big plans and bigger guns.
I prefer less violent solutions, Frank. Looking sharp.
Rebirth is a mutant's greatest gift. Your attacks are futile.
Someone scratch my back.
I feel likewise.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Don't care about the rain. Just play everything. Oh, I gotta go heal her next. Let's try Mantis.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Life energy is a powerful weapon against evil.
Okay, Mantis.
Evil is a rejection of life. Thus, I am a guardian against
30
evil.
seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Hey,
All right.
Hawkeye, we gonna save the world?
We better.
Yeah, I like that enthusiasm.
Shake it up! Enemies better beware.
I am Groot.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am wounded. I'm dead. Let me help. You made me angry. We destroyed the onslaught. We needed some help, didn't we? It's okay. Admit it. You need me. Keep an eye on this spot. My time to shine. Be careful over here. Love to see the Master Weaver.
Topped me off. Thanks.
You sure those are bad guys?
That took the edge off. Thanks.
Please, we're hurt. You're halfway there. Keep going. My time to shine.
Suffering is done.
Moonlight placed it on.
Got the arm. Let's hop back up under their noses.
I like the cold. Glad to help. Get that vehicle moving again. We have to hurry.
Lights out. They're coming up ahead.
My time to shine.
Appreciate the boost.
I like the cold. Thanks, son. Thanks.
Put some pep in my step.
Us against the world. The Master
This place for some action.
Find the exploding
Your powers are mine!
My time to shine.
You get a weapon. You get a weapon. You get a
We
weapon.
should destroy these onks. I'm back to shed some light.
I spy some bad guys.
I was worried.
Getting away now.
Lights out.
Get that vehicle moving again. My time to shine.
Vivid fear. My life force is exposed. Lights out.
Target locked.
That took the edge off. Thanks.
My time to shine.
Every little bit helps.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Love to see the Master
Careful. No.
The darkness.
My time to shine.
I'll be ship-shape in no time.
Clearly, I like the cold.
Just what the doctor ordered. Every
This is not our game.
My time to shine. Only 60 seconds left. Get that vehicle moving again. Look out behind you. Thanks.
The moon!
You owe me one. We have to hurry.
Lights out. Take mine.
Just embrace the light. Us against the dragons.
probably should spend less time.
The light always comes back. Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Yo, Gaza, what are you?
By the eye of Agamotto!
Against the world! Against the world!
I got what you need. Can't keep the leave away. Let's go.
The moon haunts you!
Keep up the momentum.
Whoa.
Heads up, we got an Ankh.
Arkin little people,
My time to shine.
strong again!
Lights out.
Thanks.
Watch out there, get her away.
My time to shine. I suck. A third of life. I was worried.
Lights out. What do these Ankhs do
My
anyway?
time to shine. You're halfway there. Keep going.
Get a web on. How do you like that, Khonshu?
My time to shine.
Tag him with the spider tracer.
I like the cold.
Lights out. Pulse charge. Fire. That's a bad job. Thanks. Light. All wrapped up.
Double KO. My time to shine.
Lights out.
That one hurts.
Check this place out. They're headed straight for the sun.
Almost there. Don't turn back now. Let's help.
Lights out. Suffering the darkness. You dish it out. I can take it.
By the eye...
Time to shine. Look out behind you. I'll over here.
Tag him with the spider tracer.
Okay.
Lights out.
Disappear.
Us against the world.
I like the cold. My time to shine.
Your powers are mine!
This place and
The
mine.
moon haunts you!
Ahead. I found them.
Down to 30 seconds.
Lights out.
Vehicle reached the checkpoint.
Darkness swallows you.
I'm gonna help. I was worried. Trying to help. Hold still. I'm trying to help.
Lights out.
My time to shine.
The moon haunts you!
Just embrace the light.
Lights out.
My time to shine. Us against the world. I feel like I'm seeing if I say so. It's just
Lights out. Help him from the shadows. Welcome to the darkness dimension.
my time to shine. I'm gonna help. Only 60 seconds left.
The dark force feeds. world.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can read. My bad. I was playing a game.
My time to shine. The final 10 seconds.
My bad. Yeah, Nezuko.
Welcome to the Dark Force dimension.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Nezuko? Yeah, I can read you. My bad. Thank you for looking. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
The moon.
My time to shine.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
But I can read your chest though. I'm doing good. How you doing? I always get cooked, dude. Always get cooked. You know what? Hey, is there a game preference you guys have? Nezuko? Extra? It's just not a good game. It's just not a good game. Trying to think. It's not this. And what? I think we can try playing. Do you guys have a preference in? You know what? Let's try Overcooked. I'm gonna try Overcooked. Let's try this. So there's this game I'm trying to play, or wanting to try. That's how it is. Let's try this with the controller too. Let's go. I think you guys can hear it though. Let me say fix this. It's a new game, right? So we gotta add it to our wavelength. Default. What the hell's game? I don't think I need my mic, but let's try this controller. It's a really nice song though, for sure, right? It's so pretty. Let's try this new game, alright? Start new game. Let's see. Just after tea time. This game is really good. I think it has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. Plus, my wife's coworker told her that this is a really good game to play. So I think we should give it a chance. It looks fun, dude. These are the fun games. I don't know if you guys remember the game. What is it called? Spyro the Dragon. Spyro. It was the purple dragon, right? Like those types of games. Good. But obviously, I think this is not. This is more of a tile-based game. Assuming. Really pretty animation. Oh my god, that's so cool. That's pretty. Bro, why do people say cheap bots? Are you supposed to use cheap bots to get views? I guess you're supposed to build a view this, you know. Gotta get some content first, you know. That's all it is. I'm just cutting it. Okay, I get. Oh no, I gotta. Now we gotta use this guy. Yeah. already done this. Am I stupid? I just brought tomato and lettuce like 3 times. Okay. Yeah, chop the lettuce, right? Oh my god. Okay. Alright, alright. Do I just keep feeding them? Okay. Is there a difficulty mode? Am I playing on a harder difficulty? Okay. Oh my god. Okay, okay. Oh my god. Okay. We're making food. We're making salad, right? Alright. Okay, okay. I'm not stupid. Okay, I got this. Okay. I figured it out. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. Okay, this is kind of fun. I can see the fun factor, but that's like this. Move over. We got a salad. Oh, this is annoying. Yeah, hello. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're just cooking, right? This is a cooking game. It's a little loud. I'm just grabbing it. I don't give a shit. This is zombies, bro. Do you think they know protocol? Okay, so they want a lettuce. And they want... And a lettuce. That was so stressful. That was so stressful. Oh my god. Okay, I understand what I get it. It's food. Gotta make it. You know combinations. Ooh. This is actually peak. I'm telling you. I can. Oh, it's just me. Okay. Can I sing that though? I can just leave. Okay. Okay, I got it. I figured it out. I know how to cook. Oh, you want to actually stuff. Okay. Not bad. Can cook.
It's insane, and he's after something so powerful it could destroy the planet unless we stop him. Nothing personal.
Your day of reckoning is here, yet you need not be afraid. This is but a homecoming.
What happened at this place?
You said that Sephiroth is your foe. I have a history with him.
That's not going to happen to you. You saved me before. Now it's my turn.
So, Marvel Rivals has announced that at the season split, halfway through the season, which is February 21st, they're going to reset ranks. Everyone will drop 4 divisions, and a brand new skin will be available for people to unlock once again. So, the Sue Storm skin that's currently available for reaching gold will change, and there'll be other rewards available for the rest of the season to unlock as well. What that means is if you haven't got gold yet, you're going to need to do it soon to get the skin. Or if you want any of the other current rank rewards, then you only have 11 days left to reach it before your rank is reset, and those rewards are gone as well. With about 11 days left, you may be wondering how you're going to rank up quick enough before the end of the season half. Obviously, it wasn't kind of announced that this would happen, so it has been a bit of a surprise that this news has suddenly come out. So, how can we speed run through rank to make sure that we can reach the rank we want to get the rewards we want? Well, I've kind of set forth 4 different things that you can follow to try and get your rank up before the rank split ends. So if you follow these 4 things, I think you're going to have a good chance of doing it. I've been solo.
Looking at the talk about Final Fantasy.
Cloud, let us defy destiny together.
We are to bear witness to the reunion of worlds, for the future is bright.
The man who many people.
Rebirth, okay.
To them. Welcome back to another episode of Before You Buy, the show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today the journey into the unknown continues with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the highly anticipated continuation of the Final Fantasy VII Remake project. The first game set a pretty high bar for how these are going to go, but I'm going to say it, Rebirth pretty much blows everything about the first game out of the water. This is one hell of an ambitious game that marries open world game design with AAA spectacle and makes it look easy. Rebirth is massive. It's a game with a ton of content, but it somehow manages to retain the polish and presentation of the first game. If not, brings it up a notch. If all you care about is a quick recommendation, there it is. Rebirth is an excellent RPG that gives you a lot more RPG than the previous game did. It makes Remake honestly look kind of like a tech demo, and that's not to say that Remake ain't good. I've played the hell out of Remake at this point. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Rebirth continues directly where the previous game left off, starting with the flashback segment in Calm. This whole opening sequence is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth writ large. It's character-driven, unhurried in its pace, and it has lots of little nooks and crannies to explore. The game runs buttery smooth on performance mode on PS5, looks fantastic overall. Do not let the demo visuals fool you, the actual game looks way better. Character models are more detailed, but the thing I really started to notice is just how great the environments look this time around. They're not just surprisingly accurate to the Final Fantasy VII layouts, they're impeccably designed, and they're just full of personality. I might be fan-birding out a little bit here, but it really is amazing seeing some of the most memorable scenes from the original game play out with some of the most lavish presentation possible. Even if in one of the game's only kind of awkward moments, villagers stand around Sephiroth with guns for a long time without doing anything. It's very weird, but it all looks incredible. From a story perspective, Rebirth actually hits it out of the park, despite the fact the game has a lot less story progression than the previous game. You're mostly just going from one place to another following these black robe guys, but it's just so good with the characters. There are some new elements introduced here that keeps things intriguing, but I don't even want to get close to spoiling anything, so I'm going to mostly avoid talking about story elements. Remake did a really good job reintroducing characters like Barrett, Tifa, and Aerith, making them likable and interesting, but this game cranks it up with the constantly amusing dialogue between party members and funny little scenes that play out all the time. Like, all the newcomers add to the humor. Red 13's now a full party member, and while he acts serious, he kind of steals the show with incredible animation and some totally absurd moments. Yuffie's no longer relegated to a secret character and gets a lot more to do as a result. Some people might find her enthusiasm kind of annoying, but the voice acting is actually really good in terms of making her likable. And that goes for everyone, actually. In general, everyone has a lot more to do in Rebirth, and the voice acting is uniformly excellent. The last major character to join your party is Kate Sith, who is as bizarre as in the original, but man, the animation work is just out of this world. He is the kind of character you do not see in RPGs anymore, along with Red 13, because animating them is such a pain in the ass, but I am super glad he's here. The last remaining party members from the original game, Sid and Vincent, they do show up, but they're not playable. I guess there's something they want to hold off on for part 3. I think what's going to catch people off guard about this game is how funny it is. This game reaches Like a Dragon levels of goofiness, and not some of the time, it's a lot of the time. The entire Junon sequence up through the boat ride and Costa del Sol is incredible. It takes the comedic aspects of the original game and cranks it up to 11. Like, okay, so some of the stuff, like, it's text jokes, so it required a little finesse to make it into, like, hey, this is funny as an acted moment, and they did it. As somebody who remembers the entire Advent Children no fun phase of post Final Fantasy VII content, it is such a huge relief to see Square Enix having fun with these characters again, rather than just being like the miserable mope Dirge of Cerberus type stuff. The original Final Fantasy VII is goofy as hell and filled with lighthearted moments, and this game doesn't just retain it, they double down, and I'm so here for it. I wish I could show you some of this stuff because we are on the brink of a new year, and with a new year comes new games. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, the top 10 new games of the first half of 2025. At number 10 is Sid Meier's Civilization 7, the latest 4X extravaganza from Firaxis Games. Now, I'm not going to say this is like a major departure for Civilization, but they've added quite a few interesting things. First, ages. You have antiquity, exploration, and modern periods. In between each, there's crisis points where you have to decide what elements that you keep from the previous age as you move into the next. I do think that's a pretty cool sounding idea. It also is going to allow you to do some weird alternate history stuff. An example I have seen in the leaders in civilization swapping, like Benjamin Franklin of revolutionary United States fame building the Great Wall of China. At the heart of it, though, it's still Civilization. If you like previous games, I'm sure you're not going to be particularly out in the cold with what's going on here. But these are some interesting ways of mixing up the formula that I think honestly sound good. They could not be good. I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, great ideas can be executed well, and bad ideas can turn out better than you expect. So we'll have to wait for the pudding to see if the proof is in it. Civilization 7 is coming to PC, and when I say PC, I mean Windows, Mac, and Linux. It's coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and Nintendo Switch as well, all on February 11th. At number 9 is Assetto Corsa Evo. You might be aware of the beloved racing simulator. It's a franchise that's been going on a while, or Neopol, I don't know. At number 8 is the first Berserker, Kazan, a action RPG developed by Neopol, or Neopol. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to say nipple, though. They're not going to make me. It's published by Nexon, though. It's allegedly a hardcore action RPG, and it's set in the Dungeon Fighter Online universe. Dungeon Fighter Online has been going since 2005, although we in the West didn't get it till 2015, 10 years in. This is a single-player game. It is a prequel set 800 years before, what you can do in Dungeon Fighter Online now, and it's about the first Berserker, of course, Kazan. It's kind of a cool idea, and if it turns out to be, I would guess this will become a franchise pretty quickly on account. Dungeon Fighter Online's been going for nearly 20 years at this point, has a built-in audience, and a lot of those people also like single-player games, me in particular. I have played Dungeon Fighter Online. I don't ongoingly play Dungeon Fighter Online, but I'm familiar enough that this definitely piques my interest, and also the footage looks pretty sweet. The first Berserker Kazan is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on March 27th. However, if you want to play it earlier and without paying any money, a demo is coming out on January 16th, and all the save data is transferable to the full game. I love that companies are doing this, to be frank. It's something that gets me in the door immediately. I am supportive of it. Like, demo culture was basically gone for a very long time there, and it really provides a good way to get people into your game. The flip side is you have to prove it's a good game, but for consumers, that's obviously great. I'm pretty excited about this one. First Berserker Kazan looks pretty cool. Moving on to number 7, it's Killing Floor 3, the latest installment in the co-op first-person shooter series. This one actually takes a pretty big jump where Killing Floor 1 and 2 are set in the sort of near future. This one jumps to 2091. And the reason for that is to plop you into a more dystopian, crazier world where Horzine is more powerful and the Zeds are much more advanced. I think from a gameplay perspective, it's probably a good idea because it gives them a lot of excuses to kind of go full maximalist in everything. It's a bit of a new direction, although it doesn't look supremely different from Killing Floor 1 and 2. They're touting new enemy AI in this game, which I think is good. I just love that we've gone back to talking about how good enemy AI is. Now, it's probably a result of all the AI hype, but if that gives us good NPC/enemy AI in games, I'm all for it. I don't care why, I just care that it's happening. But here's some good news for everybody who's got buddies with different consoles or platforms. Killing Floor 3 is going to have 6-player co-op, and it's cross-play across all of the platforms it's on, so PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. It doesn't have an exact date, but Killing Floor 3 is going to land in March. I'm pretty excited for it. It looks great. Looks like a big upgrade, and who wouldn't want that? And number 6 is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. As you know, the original game has gotten a lot of praise, acclaim for being a very immersive and realistic game. It doesn't look like they're switching direction. In fact, it looks like they're even more leaning into that commitment to realism. And I particularly like that they're doing that in the combat mechanics, as opposed to just being like, well, it's more unforgiving and that's more realistic. They're talking about the swordplay being much more fluid. They're talking about refining the archery system. And as a byproduct, they might be a little less forgiving. But the idea is to make them more realistic as opposed to just harder. I don't know. Some developers seem to have this weird belief that harder equals more realistic, and that's definitely not true. We'll see if it ends up being harder. I don't know. This one's actually got 2 distinct maps, so the world is quite a bit bigger. In fact, nearly double, because both maps are apparently roughly the size of the original's single map. I don't know, in a lot of ways, it really seems like this is a large upgrade from the first game. And if you enjoyed the first game, I'm sure it's going to be worth playing when it comes to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, February 4th. Moving on to number 5, it's Atomfall, a single-player survival action game by Rebellion Developments. This one's set in alternate history, 1960s Britain, where things went awry following the 1957 Windscale nuclear disaster. A real event, but also the point of divergence for the alternate history of the game. It's 5 years later, you're a lone survivor, and you're in a quarantine zone. That setup might give you Stalker vibes, but it's a little more oriented towards the sort of crafting and survival elements. It's not like a sandbox per se. It's a little more narrative driven, at least from the looks. I could be wrong. The combat looks fairly even-handed between melee and ranged, and looks nothing like Stalker. Like I said, the setup's kind of similar sounding, except for in Britain. But the game doesn't look particularly similar. Atomfall is going to land on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, PC, and Xbox Game Pass on March 27th. Moving on to number 4, it's Assassin's Creed Shadows, the 14th major installment of the, well, storied series. Let's be clear, there are some that are better than others. This game is stirring up a little bit of controversy, but if you look into what they're actually trying to do with it, I'm interested in the outcome more than the speculation. Obviously, it could be a big heaping pile of dog shit. We don't know. But Ubisoft has been saying they're leaning towards the more traditional Assassin's Creed style gameplay, which is kind of what I want to see in Assassin's Creed at this point. I like the open world stuff. I made it clear that I think both of the types of Assassin's Creed games are good. I like the old school kind just a little better, but I'm also kind of hesitant to lose the open world stuff completely. And this seems like it's very in line with what I want from an Assassin's Creed. I mean, Ubisoft has kind of painted it like a bridge between old school and new school, leaning a little bit closer to old school. I think Mirage is probably a pretty good precursor as to what exactly they're doing here. You got more stealth, more assassination, more parkour focus. They're saying that the story missions are going to be a little more linear and focused, while at the same time putting you on a pretty big map. You got Kyoto, Osaka, Iga. You got lots going on. Like I said, they've been describing it basically as what I want from Assassin's Creed at this point. So despite whatever arguments people are having about it, it has the potential to be a good game. Now, again, I will say that doesn't mean it's going to be a good game. However, I have some hopes for it, and I will definitely be playing it. Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's going to be coming to PS5, Xbox, PC, and iPad, like I said, on Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's! And number 3 is Avowed, a first-person RPG coming to us from Obsidian, taking place in the Pillars of Eternity universe. I'll go ahead and say this. I'm just basically completely excited at the prospect of the people who were in charge of New Vegas making a game that looks somewhat like Skyrim. Not necessarily entirely, obviously. There's a lot of specifics to Pillars of Eternity that I'm sure will set it apart. And it's also not just a full-on open-world game. I think it's more of an open zone game. I don't know how, but Sonic Frontiers actually managed to make it so people say open zone. But I guess it's actually a decent description of what it is. They're not levels, but it's not an open world. An open level doesn't sound right. Level implies a certain amount of linearity, so I don't know why I'm getting hung up on this. Avowed looks great. It's Obsidian doing this type of a game. There's factional stuff that we know is going on, and allegedly you're going to have the same kinds of meaningful choices that you might expect from New Vegas. And again, if you like Skyrim, look at the game. There are things here that will appeal to you. This is a game that I'm pretty excited for, although I'll say it's very easy for me to get confused with certain other games that kind of have this aesthetic, and they all didn't do that great. So I'm really going to be trying to wipe the slate clean as I go into Avowed, because it's done by people who've made this type of game very well in the past, as opposed to a lot of the other games that have kind of looked like this, but they're really just somebody trying to make a game that either cashes in on the aesthetic or ideas of Skyrim. This goes way further than that. Avowed's coming February 18th to Xbox Series and PC, along with Day 1 access on Game Pass. Definitely a must-play for me. And number 2 is Split Fiction, a co-op adventure game coming from Hazelight Studios, the creators of It Takes Two, and obviously continuing on the innovations they made with that game. In this one, you take the roles of Mio and Zoe, who are 2 different writers, a science fiction writer and a fantasy writer, and basically it takes them through an adventure that you could probably figure out exactly what it is, combines both worlds and makes them have to collaborate. I don't know, actually a pretty good idea for an adventure game. Something else that I think is really cool, you have to play it co-op, obviously, it's a split-screen game, but they're doing something pretty cool here called the Friends Pass. If you want to play the game with a friend and they don't own the game, you can invite them to join the adventure, and it doesn't matter what platform they've got, it's all cross-platform, and frankly, that's cool as shit. The game's coming out on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC March 6th. And finally, at number 1 is Monster Hunter Wilds. I mean, this is going to be a big one. It's kind of hard to avoid Monster Hunter. Now, this is a game that's not necessarily known for its story. It's more known for its gameplay, and it looks like they're advancing a lot of it. I'm very happy with the direction they're taking, because Monster Hunter World is this big, sprawling thing. It does a great job at everything that it does. And then they released Monster Hunter Rise a little bit later for Switch, and then ported it to PC. And it has a slightly more vertical approach. And it looks like they're taking these sort of Monster Hunter World base and moving it in the Rise direction, that to me automatically gets me in the door because I really enjoyed Monster Hunter Rise, specifically Rise. It's not that I didn't enjoy World. I actually love the hell out of World, but it's pretty old at this point. And Monster Hunter Rise, to be frank, looks like it's older than Monster Hunter World because it was designed firstly for Switch. Wilds just looks like a worldified Rise, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying smart things here or not. We got cross-platform 4-player cooperative multiplayer, so I mean, this is going to be a fun one for you and your buddies. And it will be landing on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC February 28th. I do have a quick bonus game for you. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta is allegedly coming out the first half of 2025. If you're unaware, it's a full remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, including all of the original voice cast. Allegedly, there's a couple of new lines from a few people, but it's not like a re-recording of the whole game. It mainly preserves the original. And obviously, it's a much better looking game, uses Unreal Engine 5, but allegedly, they're doing everything possible to maintain the gameplay, at least with some modern quality.
There's one historical movie scene that comes to mind for me when I think about Sid Meier's Civilization 7, and it's not a flashy arena fight in Gladiator or Mission Control cheering as we safely bring Apollo 13 back home. It's Leo DiCaprio as Howard Hughes in The Aviator, running his hand along an airplane fuselage and insisting that he doesn't want to see any rivets.
She has got to be clean, Odie. Clean.
There's some method to the madness of smoothing out the texture in its design, and at times I can see why Firaxis went in this direction, but while it takes some good swings with combat and diplomacy, and it is still overall a good time to build a civilization from the ground up, I find that this obsessive streamlining is more often than not to the long-awaited 4X successor's detriment. Let me just restate for emphasis right from the jump that I don't hate playing Civ 7. It retains a lot of the series' signature charm and polish. There's an almost indefinable quality of craftsmanship to it that none in the barrage of recent Civ competitors has been able to fully replicate. It's more like this iteration was designed by Apple, trying to be user-friendly by taking away the ability to dig into the guts of its systems or fine-tune your experience, and I'm more of an Android person. The biggest culprit here is the interface, which simply doesn't provide enough of the information I would hope to find in a strategy game of this complexity. Learning to play Civ 7 is downright frustrating. And while I eventually figured out how to live with its woefully inadequate tooltips and barren Civlopedia entries, I never liked it. I constantly found myself hovering over things and left-clicking, right-clicking, holding down Shift, Alt, Control, screw it, scroll lock, anything in the hope that I could bring up more information. But it's just not there.
PC load letter? What the f does that mean?
Once I settled into its awkward, one-size-fits-all throne, I was having a pretty good time for most of it. The music and sound design deserve a prominent mention. Christopher Tin only puts out bangers, and Live Gloriously, which features lyrics in ancient Greek taken straight from the Iliad, is no exception.
Hey, we're back with another episode of Before You Buy, that show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. As usual, it's me, Jake, along with our behind the scenes guy, Eric, here co-writing. We're the Civilization fans on the team, so we both spent the weekend diving into this 7th installment in this long running series. They're making some pretty significant changes to the formula. This isn't really like a Civ 6 situation where like there was a lot of these good incremental improvements. They are really like swinging for the fences here with this one. I guess to make it feel like a proper sequel. They changed up quite a bit. So after spending a few days with the game, we're not entirely convinced that all of these changes or shakeups really work or are necessary or even feel quite like Civilization. Not to say that this game feels totally different from your average Civ. It doesn't go that far. There's a lot of positives, but some of the things that they've done with Civ 7 are pretty drastic alterations to the usual formula. Look, even as more casual Civ enjoyers here, some of the stuff they've done here feels like they're moving the design away from the things that we all loved about Civilization in a way that feels counterproductive. It's a complicated thing because in a way you got to respect the hustle. I mean, like, we're at the 7th entry of the series, and like, if you're gonna have to charge between $70 US to $130 US for the game, which is already rough. I mean, seriously, trying to pull like NBA 2K style inflated prices for Civ games of all things, that's bad enough. But like, if they are going to charge that much, then I get that they want to make the game feel unique and offer something truly new compared to previous entries in this long-running series, but I'm just not sure if this was the way to do it. So what did they change? Well, there's a lot, so stick with us. The biggest and the most controversial, at least to us, is the new Ages system, which splits any given Civ game you play through here into 3 distinct ages: the Age of Antiquity, the Age of Exploration, and the Modern Age. I'll get into more detail later, but this completely unends the usual structure of these games by making each era have their own special mechanics and objectives. And more importantly, every player advances to the next era at the same time. There's a lot I have to say about this, but let me finish running down all the other changes before trying to dissect all of that. So leaders and civilizations are chosen separately here. That's another big thing, with leaders no longer being representative of their civilizations, and instead have their own unique bonuses that they bring in separate from each Civ. So now you can kind of mix and match them for maximum synergy or weird strategies, or just make wild history combinations like Benjamin Franklin leading the Mongol horde or whatever. And speaking of, a significant change here, a lot of the leaders you select in Civ 7, like the aforementioned Benjamin Franklin, you know, he was more of a thinker, Machiavelli, Harriet Tubman, all leaders and pioneers in their own right, but not necessarily commanding massive armies or empires. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's like we've had a million Roman emperors and stuff like that at this point, so shining a light on different historical characters is always cool. But an odd thing about the leaders is that there are more than one of the same guy sometimes. Like, I get the basic idea that leaders wear many hats and there were different. And we're back with another episode of Before You Buy. That show we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. As usual, it's me, Jake, and today we're talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The wait is finally over for this one. This is the follow-up to the original Deliverance that garnered, I'd say, a cult following and ended on a cliffhanger. So here we have Henry of Skalitz' journey continuing. And jumping into it, just so you know, this footage was captured running on PC. This is all PC gameplay and is spoiler-free first impressions. So to cut right to the chase, man, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is great. It's in a better state out of the gate than the technical state of the original game when that launched. This is an uncompromised continuation of the previous game in both story and gameplay ideas, and I think fans of the original are definitely going to be happy here. It's like a bigger, better sequel with better visuals, production values, bigger worlds. It improves things, yes, with some quality updates and accessible tweaks here and there, but it is still a pretty hardcore RPG through and through, and authentic to what made the original game special, for better or worse, depending on who you ask. Now, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a game of setbacks and how you overcome them, really. Things can feel obtuse at first if you've never experienced these. Tutorial screens can look like these overwhelming paragraphs of text. The save system isn't generous if you don't use a save potion, so you can end up like losing 40 minutes in the blink of an eye if you're not careful. The lock-picking system, though improved a little bit, I still absolutely hate it here. You start off character-wise like stupid and poor and everyone kicks your ass. It's up to you to learn the game's systems, which are usually fair, and buck up and figure things out the old-fashioned way. If you're new to Kingdom Come, you'll feel pretty frustrated for the first few hours, but it's that slow progression, I think, that slow buildup of your character and like understanding the game that ends up really feeling rewarding and really gratifying. In the original, you went from zero to hero. This time around, you kind of go from capable-ish guy to badass. This time around, the adventure continues fresh off the original game. I'd say you need to be somewhat familiar with the original game. It does catch you up on events early on just fine, like the very basics of like how Henry's whole journey started, but characters from the original turn up like right away and are important to the story, so it helps to know them a little more. If you can't play the original, definitely watch a video explaining the first game's story in depth. So, as Henry, you set out with lovable jerk Lord Capon, and things very quickly go awry, leaving Henry pretty much a blank slate for you to build up like an RPG character however you want. It's immediately noticeable just how hard they went on story and presentation here, though, just to back up. Like, the score, the framing, the direction of the cutscenes, all of it is just quality and highly entertaining. Voice actors just knocking it out of the park, bright, crisp visuals, all really just make it feel immediately like a step up from its predecessor. Memorable characters, a sense of history, and a good sense of humor make it worth experiencing. Now, after that pretty lengthy intro sequence, you're dumped out on your own with a vague objective and like a whole region to explore. You're basically going to want to spend that time getting better, helping people, doing side quests, hopefully getting some cash to buy some additional training and learn some maneuvers or techniques, but all this takes time. You're pretty fragile and the economy is stingy, but you have complete freedom. Do you want to steal and lie and cheat? Talk your way through things? Intimidate? Fight? Be a do-gooder? Like, you have a lot of choice in both moment-to-moment dialogue and encounters. Now, where the game really blew me away is how it's all constructed. Kind of like a Baldur's Gate 3, like it just feels like everything is accounted for here, like they thought of everything. And very rarely can you even barely see the seams. The game rolls with the punches in impressive ways, you know, failing your way around, screwing stuff up. The game accounts for that and adapts with new moments, new character dialogue, stuff like that. If you fail a skill check, even if you fail, it's sometimes just as interesting to see what happens next as you kind of just fail your way through. That to me often is the mark of a good in-depth RPG. Still, like all that being said, the game is also equally like happy to kind of let you completely screw yourself into a corner. There were a few parts early on where I realized where I was stuck, I was completely screwed with nothing and no way to succeed rationally, and I had to reload a save from like almost an hour ago. Still, it's how characters react to you losing a bar fight 2 quests ago. It's how your choices and mistakes are genuinely reflected in the world, from story moments to environmental details. Little things like doing a quest where you have to take something back from a group of camped bandits in the woods. So I like waited until nightfall, and then when they were all sleeping, I snuck in and stole that thing because I suck at sword fighting and combat. Then for all the dialogue to then reflect that I snuck in and didn't kill anyone, like how it actually acknowledged that and the characters spoke about it, it's just really good, well done, and well written stuff. This is down to these select moments in the game where you're stuck in kind of like a constructed area for a story mission. These end up being their own little super detailed mini levels with complex parts like multiple characters to talk to and mess with, charisma your way around, sub-objectives and secrets to find. One early sequence being like at a wedding where you're free to catch up with characters you've already met around town, help some people out, get drunk, do whatever you want. It's just really good, well-built, in-depth moments in the game throughout the story. Now, combat is challenging and demanding. Dozens of hours in, you're a badass with the Master Strikes returning, of course, but it's an uphill battle. The directional-based striking and blocking returns, but with technically a few less directions for striking. Also, it's all a bit faster and more responsive. But don't worry, the combat has not been dumbed down to be easier or anything like that. I still think if the combat turned you off in the original game, while it's better here, it still might turn you off. Me personally, a lot of the footage I captured here early on was just me getting my own ass kicked. I completely sucked for a while, so I'm sorry you have to see it. Look, it took me a while to remember how to focus on getting better before doing anything else. And there is like new melee weapons as well as advanced crossbows with different ammo types and makeshift early guns with different ammo types as well. I guess boomsticks really is what you would call them. Besides your horse, you can also have your faithful dog companion, Mutt, which I highly recommend focusing on getting him in an early side quest. Don't dick around with that, don't ignore it, because he can come with a lot of benefits. Now, the violence in the game is good, the effects are good, the stealth is pretty good too. I relied on it quite a bit and found it good in a lot of situations. Not everyone, but my only issue was detection is a little finicky and sometimes weird with characters on different floor levels. Also, sometimes guards overreact or they forgive you, they let you move on, but then all of a sudden they go, hey, and they like forgot that they just, it's a little messy, and I hope that gets fixed. Building out your character is great with like a shit ton of stats and buffs to worry about, and plotting perk points to unlock certain traits to make things ever so slightly easier little by little. A lot of unlocks just like really nicely benefit other things in small ways, making it easier to haggle, maybe slowing down the rate that your armor wears down, the ability to more quickly do like a knockout or stealth kill attack. That's just the simple stuff. Really, like it just pays to do as much as possible, fight as much as possible, sneak as much as possible, charisma your way through as much as possible, depending on what you want to focus on. This is all just in the hopes of getting incrementally better and getting these fun perk points. Survival elements do persist as well. If you were looking for that, you're managing your sleep, your hunger, and your equipment and stuff. It's all important. I did find hunger a little less demanding this time around than the previous game, but it's still something you'd need to pay mind to. But having larger regions to explore really is the game changer for me here. The regions feel huge. The city area feels incredibly impressive and dense and detailed. With the music and the sun setting and riding through a densely wooded forest on my horse, I really felt immersed in this world and wanted to spend just like an endless amount of time in it. Being rewarded by finding a camp or a strange mysterious hut or a pack of wolves or an abandoned grave site all just helped add to the exploration. It's not the most dense map with like side objectives and activities. It's just right. There's a hell of a lot to do. This game is a massive time sink, but like your map isn't cluttered. There's breathing room where there should be. It's just got a stronger sense of real genuine adventuring compared to the first game. And again, I remember the first game launching in a bit of a rough state. Some performance stuff, some weird glitches. It was frustrating. Now here, after many, many hours of playing, my experience has been pretty good. There's a day one patch coming with fixes that I didn't experience yet, so keep that in mind. But even still, without that, my performance was really solid. Other than a few flickering shadows and I had one endless loading screen that caused me to have to restart the game, that's it. No hard crashes or anything like that. I was able to get a consistent frame rate and just have a nice time. So this is good news. The game does have some quirks though. Some stuff that might get patched or fixed really quickly, but like every so often I did have characters not really react to what they were saying or like their voice line, or like they would hold up a mug of mead to cheers only to have nothing in their hand and just mime it. It's like little things like that here and there will crop up, but none of them really impacted my experience much. And again, I think in a much better state than the original game. So again, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a lengthy game that demands a lot of your time, especially if you're a little slow picking things up. Just be prepared for that. But even as this is just my first impressions, seeing the two main regions and spending a ton of time wandering off the main quest path and just getting into shenanigans, forging swords, doing activities, all that, this is just like a really strong game. A game where I use the overused phrase, yes, it's not for everyone, and like I really, really mean that with this one. But I think fans of the original will be incredibly happy here. And new fans willing to have patience and perseverance will find a really unique experience here. Sweaty old school PC RPG gameplay, plus a great story with memorable characters. Not a lot of new games on the market